When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated for some reason I can't explain, and I lost chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. I found myself in the Madden and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and cold wind blew the rain across my face. So, through this paragraph, the author expresses his views. When Hari reached the station, he straight away went to the platform without buying a ticket, as he had never bought a ticket in his life. He had always travelled without a ticket. When he reached the platform, the Lucknow Express in which he had to go, just leaving the platform, the train was still slow, so he could have easily jumped and got on one of the carriages, but he did not do so. There was a bit of hesitation in him. Even he didn't understand why he had the hesitation inside him, and because of that, he could not board the train. After some time, when the train had left, Hari found himself all alone at the empty platform. Hari did not know where would he spend the night. He did not have any friends whom he could go to, as he used to think that friends were more of a trouble than being helpful. He did not even want to stay at any of the small hotels, as that would attract attention. He knew only one person very well, and he had robbed him as well. As Hari was walking through the bazaar after leaving the station, he was thinking of his observations as a thief. In short career span, he had realized that although everybody from rich to poor shows different reactions to losing their goods, but Anil would only be a little sad. That too would not be because he lost his money, but because he had lost his trust that he had on Hari. He would be sad that he trusted someone so much and the person had betrayed him. Hari was walking when he reached a park. He sat on a bench. As it was the month of November, the night was a bit chilly, and then drizzle added to the discomfort that Hari was going through. It started raining quite heavily, and Hari's shirt and pajamas stuck to his body. Cold wind was blowing across the face of Hari. I went the next paragraph. I went to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp from the rain. Anil's money in the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to cinema, but now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew I could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be really a big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself. If, if only to learn to read and write. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed and my hand came up with the notes. I felt his breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of mattress and slipped under it with notes. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirits rose. My spirits rose, but when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. Then Hari went back towards the bazaar and sat under the shelter of the clock tower to escape getting wet. It was 12 o'clock. By the clock tower, Hari checked the notes and they were wet. Then again, Hari started thinking that it was Anil's money, and if he had not stolen it, Anil would have surely given him 2 3 rupees to go for a movie. But now, as he had stolen it, he had it all. Now he won't be able to make tea or do groceries for Anil anymore, nor would he be able to learn to write whole sentences ever. He had not realized that he would be losing all these in the excitement of stealing the money. He knew that if he could learn to read and write, he could learn much more. He could earn much more money than these few hundred rupees, and that too honestly. He knew that it was very easy to steal something from someone, but sometimes it was not easy to get caught as well. He knew that if he learned to read and write, he could surely become big and respected man one day. Then Hari told himself that he should go back if he wanted to earn, if he wanted to learn to read and write, and also if he wanted to be a big man one day. Hari went back to Anil's room and was very nervous because he knew that it was much more difficult to return stolen things without being caught than actually stealing it. Hari went to the hallway and stood there as moonlight was still falling over the bed. Anil was still asleep. Hari went near the head of the bed and took out the notes as he was going near the mattress. His hand could feel Anil's breath on his hand. Hari became still for a moment, found the edge of the mattress, and finally slipped the notes under it. The next morning, Hari woke up a little late and Anil had already made the tea by then. Anil extended his hand towards Hari and had a 50 rupee note in his hand. Hari thought he had been caught. Then suddenly Anil explained that he had made some money the day before, so he was giving him 50 rupees. He also said that he would be paying Hari regularly. Hari was really happy, but when he took the note in his hand, he saw that it was still wet from last night. He also told Hari that the day he would teach him how to write complete sentences. Hari realized that Anil had come to know that he had stolen money and kept it back. But the great thing that happened was that he did not let it show on his face or his words. Hari again smiled at Anil in his most appealing way. Anil's smile also came to his face without any effort. So we can say that humility and kindness are bigger characters of human beings. These are the basic qualities of human beings. Through this we can change any human beings. So we can say the message of the story is to educate someone who are illiterate, to tell him how to survive in this world in a good way, following the path of honesty. We can survive our life beautifully. So we can say that this story tells that if we educate someone, then we can reduce the rate of crime.